Hello everyone, welcome to another episode on Suzy Podcast Arena here, and I'm your own host, Success Navena. On today's episode, I've got two amazing guests again. You know the vibes, Navena. You're supposed to be familiar. That will not disappoint people. So, on my left, I've got.
Hey guys, it's your girl Farah, and I'm into entertainment. I do music. I sing with a live band. We grace events, and we also sing at lounges. So yeah, you can call us for your events. I'll be right there.
Period. Yeah, and on my right, I've got.
Hi guys, I'm Diamond. I'm a personal shopper and also into logistics. I sell motorcycles. If you want to start up a logistic business, pull up guys.
It's him up. Yeah. So on today's episode, we're talking about a very interesting topic titled early marriage. Yeah. Oh, let's start here. What's early marriage in your understanding?
Well, first off, let's start with the word marriage. Marriage is a union between two people, majorly a man and a woman. These days, I think we have man and mother. That's how we do things. Anyways, so yeah. Marriage is the union between two people. Now, early marriage, I'd say, is the union between two young, underaged people. Although not necessarily. Sometimes one person can be older than the other person. But majorly, I think women are usually the younger ones in early marriages and all. So yeah. And between the ages of, let's say, for me, I'd say between the ages of 10 and 15. That's really early marriage.
True. But then what?
Yeah, like I said, it's between underage persons. Both partners can be underage, that is 18 years and below, or just one of them, particularly the female, being underage. So that is union between both parties, between both sex being underage. That is
True. So reasons why people get married early. Reasons.
Yeah, one of the reasons why people get married, or a lot of reasons why people get married, one of them is lack of education, and economic factors. Let us say the one which is common, the family do not have money like we know, and then you have this other family that has money, and they say, okay, let us get married to this family. That's
Sure.
what at least help this family go up to this standard because they don't have money at that point in time. The lack of education too. I've seen cases whereby you want your child to go to school and you don't have the money to sponsor that child. And there's this other family that has another that is well to do and can help you sponsor that child, but you need to get them married to that family first. Now I have the money, probably I'm quite of age, 30 years, and I'm seeing an underage person of 16 or 17 years that I can send to school. But I'm giving a condition, which is that you have to marry
Get
me
married
first.
first.
Yeah, get married to me. Okay? So that is one of the reasons. That is one of the major reasons. The economic factor too. You don't have money. The family has money. Okay, let us get them married. They will balance it up.
Yeah. So how about you?
Well, I'd say he has said a lot of about 2 or 3 reasons here, but I'd say some of the reasons are relationships, or rather the relationship between both parties. Sometimes those, especially in the north here, those families they are like, okay, this family has a male child, this family has a female child. So at some certain point in time, they betrothed that child, the female child, to the guy. Do you understand? So for family relationship reasons, so that's also one of the reasons. And then one other reason again is that most of the time, or 99% of the time, they are being forced into this thing. Like they are being forced it's out of their own will, against their will. They don't have a choice.
True.
So those are some of the reasons for early marriage. But majorly, family relationship and lack of education, like Diamond said, lack of education goes a long way, because when you're not enlightened, you tend to do stupid things or things that are abnormal.
Yeah. So I would ask, have you people come across anybody that got to married early? Yes.
For me, I remember back in secondary school, or rather primary school, yes. Primary school, there was this girl, name we tell, let me just use the name Shola. Yeah, so we're in primary 3, and I think we were around the ages of 6 and 7 thereabout. But she was, I think, around 10, 9, 10. Yes, 9, 10. So she only spent 1 year in school with us, and the next thing we heard was the girl has traveled back to the north, and she's married now. Well, young children now. We're like, how would Shola go? Why would she get married? Kids. We're always inquisitive and all. But that was, I remember vividly. But that was the word. Those were the words that came out of my teacher's mouth. It said Shola has been given away, as a bride to someone in the north. Yeah.
So there are people that get married at the age of 10 this century.
Yes, even to date.
So
Yeah, I've had instances too. I've had the story of someone that got married at the age of 15 years to someone this married was about 37 years. 7 years too. So you can imagine the age difference. And it resulted to violence, where the man had to abuse her. It was kind of traumatic. At the end of the day, they had to divorce after 2 years. So you can imagine what it leads to when you have that kind of marriages. They are not mentally ready. They are not just ready in any way.
true. So disadvantages of getting married early.
Yeah, a lot of disadvantages. First off, your health, not your health, that person's health is at stake because there are a whole lot of illness, or rather, should I say, ailments that come with early childbearing for the female child. Child bride, yeah. There are a whole lot of ailments that come with it. There's this thing they call is it VPF or V. But it has to do with the private part of the little girl. Like it does a whole lot. It's bad. Like it is that bad, and then psychologically they're not ready. A lot of these girls are they're children. They should be allowed to grow up as kids and not abused. Because when you don't allow a child to pass through that stage of, childhood, teenage, the teenage age and all of that stuff, to enjoy those periods, they tend to go into a lot of them are traumatized.
True.
A lot of them, 99.9% of them are traumatized because it is not normal. It is not normal. Like, why would you be married to a 10-year-old or
getting married
15-year-old?
Yeah.
Now, imagine that child now. First of all, imagine that child having sex. That child is exposed to a whole lot of sickness or illness. And most of these men that marry them are not even healthy. A lot of them, some are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 30s, And then you come and you meet that little child, you give her different kinds of infection, something fistula. Fistula, yeah. I forgot about something fistula, yeah. And the rest and other ailments as well. You get, so most of the time they are not ready.
True.
They are not ready at all. True. And to me, that is child abuse.
Yeah, that's child abuse.
It's child abuse.
And also, you get to, or let's say you show them out of the social norms. Let's take, for instance, like you said earlier on, that you've not given them the opportunity to enjoy life. Certain things that they need to do at a certain age. At that teenage time frame, okay, when they're supposed to like go out,
when they're supposed to be
in school, even aside that, they're supposed to explore, be to several places. They don't have the opportunity of doing all of this thing because at the end of the day, they are caged and you make them full-time housewives. They don't get the opportunity to pursue a career anymore. You don't get to do all those things. You don't get to partake in politics. You don't get to partake in any of these things anymore. So psychologically, they are just dead. Psychologically, they are dead. Not that they are dead, they're just dead psychologically. And it begins to affect them mentally over time.
Sure. And that's why courtship is important. What do you feel about courtship for marriage? Like even for early child marriage, do you think they should court first? Do you think they should get to know each other?
It's not even about them getting to know each other. It is wrong.
Yes, it is wrong. But at least, what is wrong is wrong. But should we say they should court first? At least, because exactly.
Most of the time, these kids don't even know who they are.
Exactly. But
You don't know.
that's what I'm saying. They should be courtship first, even if it's wrong.
Imagine,
You know it's
imagine
wrong.
I'm 10 now. You are 30 or 40 now. I just come back from school one day.
I love you.
In fact, most of the time, they don't even allow the girl child to go to school. I just come back from school one day, and the next thing, I just see beautiful clothes. I've seen animations like
Yes,
that.
yes,
I just see
yes.
beautiful clothes, you know, beautiful ornaments and stuff. And then the next thing, your mother will just be telling you, my child, I love you, but I'm so sorry.
Yes.
There's a man here that wants to take you. The child doesn't have an idea. So courtship is not even.
That's what I'm saying. If courtship is introduced.
So are you advocating?
I'm not. Please, no, never. Please. I'm just saying.
I don't think courtship is okay. It should be introduced for underage. It should be for someone that is.
These are
underage.
children.
They're children.
They're supposed to be in school.
Food, definitely.
They're supposed
I'm
to
not
be living their
saying.
normal life.
Please, quote and requote. I'm not saying I want people to get married early. No. If you watch my episode dating in your 20s, I was saying people should not even date at 30, not talk of getting married. So I'm not saying I'm just saying at least parents from the north, like northerners, like cannot change the fact that they'll still marry them.
Yes.
If you like tell them it's not right, they're
It's
still
not
going to give their children out to marriage at that early stage. So what I'm saying is, should the Alaji and this small girl not court first? Or should they just dash them? Because it's like them dashing.
You know, first off, that child has no carnal knowledge. Like the child is in a state of oblivion. Like you don't know what is going on. So even discussing what does a 10-year-old know
That's
about courtship, let alone marriage.
That's a lot.
Omode. No. Let's be realistic here. A child at 10, at age 10,
At 10, you're
11,
supposed to be
I was
playing.
writing common entrance to enter JSS1.
Mhm.
So imagine me coming back, daddy, hey, and my dad say, my darling, I'm so sorry. My dreams are gone.
True.
So this is not an issue of even courtship. Like my dreams are gone, dead and gone.
True.
Now, first off, you don't know if this person is a violent person.
Yeah.
You don't know if this person has AIDS, HIV.
Mm-hmm.
If he has any STI or STD, you don't know if he has any generational cause or ailments.
Even if courtship is introduced, you won't still know.
You
At
won't
such
know.
age. You won't
Like
Yeah,
that child will not be able to comprehend. The child
yeah.
cannot comprehend courtship,
True.
let alone marriage.
True. At that age, nothing. It's only play that I want to play. Any other thing.
It's just like you take a lion, you take a lion's cub, you put it in a cage.
Yeah.
Now that lion has no idea of what the jungle looks like, or if he even belongs in the jungle. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now that lion will grow up to love you, hug you, play with humans.
Mhm,
He doesn't have any knowledge of the
That is a
jungle
wild
or that he's a
animal,
wild
yeah.
animal.
Yeah.
Now take that lion and put him in the jungle and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That lion will definitely get killed. It will not even last. Except maybe when it comes comes across another lion like him, and then maybe they start to fight or something. But I'm very sure that lion will not stand a chance, because that lion has no idea what it means to be in the jungle.
Mm.
Same thing applies for a child being introduced into early marriage. No. A child that has not even learned how to crawl, you say the child should come and run.
Some has never started their period.
Do you understand?
Because at 10, but this a 10 is starting period now. It's like I don't even know.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
So yeah, we'll be moving to the advantages, if there is any.
Well, for the advantages, though, I would say if not that early yet, but as from, let's say, between the ages of 16, because some of us, our mothers had their kids very early.
Yes.
Although a lot of them had sad stories behind it.
Yeah.
Because they went through a whole lot. Some were even circumcised,
Mm-hmm.
During that childbirth or before the childbirth. So a lot of them went through hell. So having your kids early, you get to enjoy it later, much later in life. That is if you are between the ages of, let's say, 16, 17 and 19, downwards. But anything 15 down to 10,
No advantage.
there's no advantage. It's painful.
Yeah, it is.
It is painful.
It is.
It's bad. No.
And well, even if you say you get to enjoy those child later on, it is when you get to dedicate your phones, your time to those kids. At least you sponsor them to education, give them proper education, because there's no way you tell me that okay, early childbirth, then you have a child that you just send out back like this. Most of these houses, these Fulanis,
Yeah.
just take them to the street, they start begging. There's no way you enjoy them with that one, because they'll still
True.
continue begging. So now, let's say you give them proper education, at least you get to monitor them often. By tomorrow, they become someone better in life and they'll take care of you. That is just one of the advantage of early childbirth or from early
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah. For me, yeah, I would say some of them, yeah, you know, at that age, even having a child at 16, 17, it's like a child having a child. You know,
Children
a
nurturing.
child having
Like
another
a
child.
younger brother, a younger
So they are
sister.
not even fully developed. You know, there's no joy. Like sometimes a lot of them will see their kids, they just hit them, you know, due to it, like on impulse, they just hit the child, or they always angry at the child, or they beat the child for no reason. So I think there are little or no advantage in child bearing having kids at an early age.
True. I agree.
Yeah.
There's no advantage except you're 19 or 18. You can still hear. Maybe you give birth earlier and you and your child are looking like sisters and you are doing twin girls, doing this. But apart from that, 13, 14. But I don't know. I don't know. So we'll be ending this episode by ways to curb early child marriage.
I don't think you can start with him.
Okay, I think one of the things should be from sex education, okay, and sex education in secondary school, primary schools. You know, if these kids or these children are learning and they know that okay, this step we're about to take is wrong, and they already know the disadvantage of it, they know what the effects will be. I think they should be able to tell their parents that mommy, daddy, I cannot marry this person because these are the reasons behind. These are what our teacher has told us that would happen. We eventually get married to them. What would you want to die at early age?
What
When
if
you
it's
ask,
false?
you know, you want to, even if you, that is why we say, okay, now this sex education is to that child alone. I think our parents too need to be enlightened.
Exactly.
Yes, our parents to be enlightened, and the society has a lot to do. You know, the society itself has to cope this thing because I think it is what this society has agreed on to, what society has accepted to be norms. That is what most of these parents to take as norms. So now, if this society are giving what's it called? Are giving education on early childhood to just curb this early childhood, I think to reduce it to minimum, if not to totally eradicate it.
I agree.
Yeah, like you said, education. Like a lot of people need to be enlightened, most especially the parents, the adults, because a lot of those adults are not even schooled. They do what their forefathers have been doing, and they continue doing it. So they need to be educated to know that okay, you are endangering the life of your child when you expose your child to any carnal knowledge, you know, be it early marriage or sex or whatever. You are exposing your child to danger because most of the time those parents, they just look at the benefits, what they are set to gain in it, or you know what the benefits, you know. So they should be educated, and also the society itself should ban it. They should put it into law that child marriage should be banned. It should be stopped, and most especially sexualizing the girl child at a very young age. It's very good to teach them about sex, let them know like sex education is very important. Like me, my parents started teaching me about sex education when I started my period at age 11. So I already knew what it was. So I knew it was a bad thing to do. And it took me a long while. I was already in my 20s before I even started having carnal knowledge of whatever, you know. So if parents can be if parents would not feel shy, because a lot of times parents do feel shy to talk about the topic of sex.
True.
You know, in the Western world, they'll tell their children, "Oh, you do this, you do that." You know, like me, my parents. I was fortunate enough, you know, to have parents that would tell me, "Farah, if you do this thing and you get pregnant, there are consequences. God bless you. You will leave my house. You will leave the house. This is the consequence. Your life is destroyed. Your future is gone."
True.
You know, so if a lot of people can be enlightened, and then if they can ban it like put a stop to it, the same way they put a stop to slave trade, they can put a stop to it, then we would not have child marriage anymore.
I think parents should do, like, parents is the problem here.
Exactly.
Parents are the problem here. So there should be awareness for parents, not even for children. They should create awareness for parents when they go out, talk about this is. Some parents need to know about sex education. Do you know that some parents don't even know about sex education? They don't know it, so they can't even teach it.
A lot of them.
So you have to know it first for you to be able to pass the knowledge to the other person. So what should they even know it? How can you pass that knowledge?
They don't even understand.
They just think
body.
and
exactly. And the thing about parents is that they think they know it. That's it. But they don't. So they need to just be awareness for parents in general. Adult education. Teach the parents that sex education and teach the parents about sex education, early child marriage,
so that
they can train their kids to be that.
I think this is where the NGOs too needs to come in, because most of them they do talk about the girl child. They've been focusing more on the girl child alone. They've never had. They should start focusing on the parents too.
Yes.
Programs where they call just parents,
yes.
the mothers, the father. But sometimes the mother might not have the same
father.
Yeah, so we should have programs whereby
Parents.
enlightening the fathers.
Parents.
Okay, yeah, these are the consequences of when you do this to this child, when you do that to this child. So.
But the thing is that some parents will still pick money over all these things.
Of course.
And I will not say that person is a mother or father, because if you really love your child, you would still pick your child over
that happens when
poverty.
That happens when the mother herself was also introduced to early marriage.
So she felt, so she's not feeling
So
it.
she felt like,
I've gone through it now.
I've gone through it. You can go through it.
Yeah, that's why they need to be educated.
You will learn in the process.
Exactly.
And it is wrong.
Exactly.
It is wrong.
It's wrong.
At least the enlightened ones that have started, thank God for the likes of Aisha, that woman, the activist, yes. That woman has been fighting tooth and nail, against child marriage and child bride and all of that stuff, Both the boys and the girls, like a whole lot of things that have been going wrong in the north. She has been an advocate for that, and that is why I really appreciate that woman. So yeah, like there should be more, like you said, there should be more NGOs to educate these parents and let them know that these things are wrong.
Yeah.
And these are the long-term effects, when you expose your child to such dangers.
So child marriage is a no-no for us, from what I said.
It's a no-no.
So we'll be ending this episode with our guest giving us tips. You know how we do it here. We need to give you our tips for this particular episode. So let's start it here.
Tips.
Just give us tips that we'll take on this episode.
Oh, tips on this episode. Okay. Well, I would say whoever you are as a person, try to educate yourself, improve on yourself.
True.
Psychologically, emotionally, and also the people around you, and also create awareness as well, because sometimes what you know I might not know, what I know you might not know. So, but if we have intellectual conversations like this, if we talk more about it, we will get enlightened. So I always believe in self development, enlightenment. Always make sure you improve on yourself in all ramifications, educationally, psychologically, morally, sexually, in all aspects. Yeah, in all aspects.
Yeah.
Well, for me, guys, I would say you should take your time. No rush.
No rush.
Just chill. One step at a time. Okay. So that thing you are trying to go and taste. Let me see what is happening in marriage. My guy, you will check out later. You will still enjoy.
It's talking from experience.
Just chill, okay?
Yeah. So for me, I would say there's no late marriage. People can get married 30, 35. Whenever the man come, get married, but don't ever push anybody to get married at a young age, maybe because of money, because of anything. And I would say educate yourself. Like if you're educated, somebody from somewhere will not just come and tell you one thing, because you already know what it is. You know the consequences. And for our parents, teach your children about getting married early. You to be educated, so everybody be educated. Yeah,
Sex education is very important.
very, very.
Not the wrong one that they taught us.
Or the touching.
But
His boy touch you.
like the real
Get
sex
pregnant, yeah,
education,
the real
we're
sex
talking of the
education.
real sex education.
Sitting your child
Yeah.
down and tell them
Because African parents, people are guilty of this.
our daddies are among
And
us.
then sex education is not just for the female child, it's not for the
Yes,
Yes,
it's for both gender.
Both genders, very
It's for both
important.
gender. Like, teach them, sit them down. That's why you need to be educated first to tell them. Because if you're not educated, how can you pass what you don't know?
It's not even about touching, like somebody
They
touching
touch
me.
you.
It has to do with their genitals.
Because that's what our parents told us. If
their
somebody
private
touch you,
parts. If somebody,
tell them what it is
what
that
it
they
is
are
and the
supposed
names
to
and what it does. Educate
Tell
them
us.
so that they can be enlightened
Yeah.
to know that, oh, if somebody touches me in this particular
that
place, it is wrong,
Yeah.
and I should alert my parents or
Alert.
adults around me.
Exactly. Don't be shy to say it. Speak up.
But still, that's their method. It helped to
It helped, but
some extent.
let's say it as it is.
Yeah, yeah.
You still have some people that will come to you, the older person that will come to you, mom is lying. You see that thing is sweet.
It's sweet.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Let's just try it.
let's try
But
it.
whenever you think of that fear, if this boy touched me, no.
What if the boy now say, I'll not touch you,
I'll
you
not
touch
you,
me?
you touch me. Oh, we'll not touch ourselves.
No,
No,
We
like
just
that,
sit
like
down,
that
we just
joke
sit
where
down.
the girl said, mommy, don't worry, I did not let him climb me. I climbed him.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
know,
it can
that kind
happen
of
now.
thing.
If a guy touch, not if I touch the guy.
That's why you need to educate your
Yeah,
children.
yeah.
You know, teach them about sex education, about marriage, about the genitalia, the male and female genitals,
Exactly.
so they know the names and what it does and the consequences when it is abused or
Exactly.
when you get involved in when you get involved in sex or
Or
immoral
anything.
activity
Exactly.
before the right age.
Yeah.
You know.
So, welcome.
Although I have one question.
Okay.
Like when is the right age for kids to start having sex? I don't know, or people to start having sex.
When you're
There's
married.
no right age.
When you're married.
actually. so that means
Yeah.
okay, so you have to get married.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the right.
You get married first.
Yes, now.
you start
I'm
having
there.
kids.
But wait, I want to ask you now.
Yeah.
Did you wait?
Yeah.
Ah!
I did cult wedding.
Did you wait
Did you
before you?
wait before
You have
you
not
tested
accessed
the
any
forbidden
licenses before you.
Off camera.
Okay. Please. I'm coming to the end of this episode. It's
That was
okay.
another episode.
Off your mic. Honorable, off camera, off your mic.
So yeah, we've come to the end of this episode. I hope you were able to learn something from this episode because I did. Yeah. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment. And follow us on other social media platforms at Suzy Podcast Arena. And if you have topics you'd like us to discuss or questions you want to ask, send us an email at suzypodcastarena@gmail.com. Thank you for sticking with us on this episode. Bye.
True. We know the new girlfriend.
I'm the side chick.
The side chick.
And the side chick.
But even if you be side chick, you still try.
You know there is always
This
this.
is go collect. No.
No, you know we have the madam of the house, then we have the main chick. His main chick. Then we have his girlfriend. Then we have the side chick. Then there's this other side chick. That one like. You know that one like. You know, let me give you a description now.
Okay.
Half a day they show now.
So, you know what they
Okay.
Now when they show.
The goat.
Now when they call them goat, you know when they call them.
The goat. Exactly.
That one be steady turn up.
When they call them
No, they
goat.
disappoint.
They just what I think they relate to that.
No, I don't relate.
I swear.
I can't relate.
I swear.
You sure?
supported.
You dey talk like say.
One and only.
Oh, God.
God soon.
God when?
God
Share that
soon.
gender.
God soon.
Man.
God soon.
Oh,
Man. Okay.